What's up, you guys? Today we're going to be going over something that's so sick. It's the new RPM V2 blow-off valve. This is our blow-off valve redesigned from the top to the bottom. So here we go. 360-degree port, meaning that this thing can spin and sit anywhere. It doesn't get bolted down. This is it right here. If you're running this on a car, cool. Here, there, wherever this thing needs to be. No more permanent port, no more coming out and bending over. This thing just is where it needs to be all the time. You can sit there, pivot, spin, high temp O-rings on top, high temp O-rings on the inside. Obviously, you got a full new facelift. This is all 6061 billet, knurled cap. Dude, oh, it's so sick. We'll go ahead and open this one up, and then we'll kind of check some of these other ones out too. All stainless hardware. The blow-off valve is all micro-polished aluminum. This is the new stuff right here. So it has an O-ring that seals on the inside of the blow-off valve. So we completely redesigned the seating of the blow-off valve. So now it's got a rubber seal that seats down in there. Same dual O-ring design on the inside, single O-ring up top. We kind of slowed down the feed rate of the machining so that the anodizing is super glossy now. So kind of got a whole new look there. The blow-off valve is going to come with 3 springs, soft, medium, and stiff, and they're just strictly for sound preference. And of course, moving in, if you have an X3, you're going to get this billet port. If you have a RZR, you won't. That's your boost reference line. You're going to have spare O-rings, zip ties to secure your reference line, spare grease to service the blow-off valve if you ever need to. Our filter and pre-filter, this is kind of sick, is the pre-filter. Guys who are in the mud and dirt a lot, if you want to run the filter, it's actually like a muffler for it. We have the pre-filter for it also, so that's kind of sweet. Silicone safe worm gear clamps, your billet plug to eliminate the blow-off valve for a boost leak test or something like that, or if you're running a RZR, this would cap your factory recirculation line. It's got our logo anodized on it. Your extra springs, everything is in this box. It's that nice, that easy. Installation instructions up here on the top. This is a cutaway of what our blow-off valve looks like. So the V2 blow-off valve. Obviously, we didn't really have any issues with our first blow-off valve. We sold tens of thousands of them, literally tens of thousands. It works great. It has never had an issue. It was just time. You know, we're constantly innovating, and we're going to be always changing things and making them better. And after you sell 10,000 blow-off valves, you learn a thing or two. And you know, some stuff just needs change. You want to stand out. You know, you build something that's like the industry standard, and then you realize that stuff starts to kind of look like it, feel like it. They never really operated like ours. But with that being said, we're like, let's just change it up. We need something that makes ours look different, you know. So that's why we gave it this facelift and made those twerks and changes to it. And I say we killed it. I mean, this blow-off valve looks so sick. You know, we wanted to keep the initial, like the same guts of our old one. And we did that. We just kind of, you know, did some things we wanted to do, and that was the top port, and the sealing of the piston down here on the bottom. So really what we changed was this port up top, yellow pink, and we added this sealing O-ring down here, which means we re-machined the whole seating position of the piston. So when we built this one, we kind of ran at it with a design that, like, there's no budget. Let's just build the best, you know. And when we got all said and done, we're like, let's build something crazier. So that's when we built this. Like, this was built from multiple solid chunks of 6061. This is an actual blow-off valve. These are my hands. This thing is just huge. Like, this is my head, and that's a blow-off valve. So we have 2 of these. If you ever see us at a trade show, we always have these with us, and they're just giant replicas of our blow-off valve. Fully functional, by the way. So if you know anyone who needs like a 3-inch blow-off valve, we've got you covered. We bolt this up to our X3. I'm getting there. It takes a little longer when things are that big. Yeah, kind of gives you a rough idea of what you're up against. Yeah, so sick. This thing's so nice. Like, the blow-off valve, the reference line can just land wherever or be wherever. It's always in the perfect spot now. So moving on. Oh, giant piston. You can see right there the O-ring that seals. Yeah, we redesigned the piston a little bit. Nothing too crazy. We obviously didn't want to change the sound of the blow-off valve any. So yeah, that kind of smoothed things up and dialed it in on the inside. That's what it looks like. The outside, obviously, our logo here is going to have these ribbed edges. And Yeah, that's it, guys. That's our V2 blow-off valve. So go cop one at rpmsxs.com.